Hey, what's up, gamers? Me, Hood the Gamer, and welcome back to another Dip of Daylight tier list. And it's been, I think, like a year now. Like, I think the last time I did a tier list, sure it was a Smash or Pass, but I mean, like, an actual tier list, I think was like a year or two ago at this point. I think it was when Sadako came out, so the Onryo. Yeah, it was about a year ago, I want to say. So, yeah, we'll jump right into it now. Now I'm gonna pull up my stream. Yes, this one also includes the Skull Merchant, but um uh, hmm. Yeah, I'll try my best of the ability of Skull Merchant. I haven't gotten her yet. I haven't played really Dead by Daylight recently, but I mean I still play from time to time and I still like know about the killers up to basically Wesker. The Knight I'll try my best as well, because I didn't play much of the Knight either when he first came out. But like I said, I'll try my best with the ability for Skull Merchant and the Knight. Which, not gonna lie, I do like the Knight. I also don't mind the Skull Merchant, but I've heard a lot of bad things about both those characters, so... We shall now start, and I will not be including the survivors because I was trying to look for a tier list for the survivors, but there were none that were updated. The closest one was Yuichi from the Onryo chapter. So yeah, that was the closest one to being the updated one. And so I was just like, I'm not doing it then. And then there's the perks, but I don't want to do just the perks. I want to do the person with the, like, so I don't have to do the perks individually. So this will be a pretty short stream unless I describe them a bit. So starting off with the Trapper, and again, this is the PS4 edition, meaning like it's different compared to PC. But I would say he's probably going to move down that list to a D maybe in the future, but I would say he's a C. Not gonna lie, I love Trapper. He's one of the originals. He's actually pretty decently easy to play as. It is to get difficult depending on where you put the traps. Like, it could be in a specific area that's too open or too obvious. Like, actually, come think of it, if they know you're a trapper, they're not gonna fall for stupid stuff that often. Sorry, Trapper. Yeah, I was a Trapper main for a while, but then, yeah, with all this like new updates and stuff going on, like Trapper's kind of losing it. Next is Wraith, which I think because of his buffs and stuff, he makes a pretty good original 3 killer sort of thing, being a B middle. He'll probably move more down that line, possibly go down to C, but we shall see. Reason why I put him in B is because, as you can tell, or as you know, Wraith in his invisibility without any add-ons in perks, he's a 5.0, making him one of the fastest killers ability-wise. And one ability that can last basically forever unless someone blinds you, burns you, or stuns you with a pallet or head-on. But basically, besides those flaws, he's pretty strong. Because most of the time, people don't bring flashlights because how hard they are nowadays. And people don't usually bring head on unless they're a toxic fire friends. So, you know. So yeah, I'm putting him here in B tier. Next is Hillbilly, which, yeah, when the game first came out, he was probably one of the strongest, if not the strongest killer in the game at the time, minus the specific person, which I'll go to in a bit, but because of the nerfs he's been getting and the reworks that most killers have also been getting and stuff like that, like buffs, reworks, nerfs, like, he's moving all over the place, but I would say he's a B tier because of his speed, his instant down, but it's the fact that there's a chainsaw cooldown now instead of like it being infinite. If it was infinite still, he'll be an A to an S tier basically. Then when he hits an object, his like duration of after hitting the object takes forever to come out of it. So yeah. Next is Nerth, which aren't well. She is strong. I'll give her that, but for PS4 players, she's not the easiest to comprehend. Sure, depending on the people, she can be an S tier, but for me, she's an A tier. Like, I could beat people without having to use perks. But that's only in custom games, and those people are usually not that great, so. In normal matches, I get my ass kicked for having, like, just one perk. But with that, she is an A tier in my eyes, with at least the PS4 experience that I've seen. If this was based off kind of the community's opinion as well, she'd probably move up to an S, because how many people are like, she's still S tier even on PS4? Well, this is my PS4 edition, in my opinion, and how I play the people. Like, if I'm good with the person, I'll put them there. If I'm bad with the person, I'll put them down lower. And actually, with that being said, if we're going to go that way, this is so far my opinion for, like, the PS4 edition, like, on me playing them. And actually, how easy they are for me, specifically. You know what? Hold up. Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm gonna fix this. Alright, screw it. I'm going to take off that PS4 edition and just say my opinion and the communities, technically. Okay, so we're gonna just say my opinion and that's it. Because I already can see it happening, that people are just gonna get really butthurt about the opinion I'm giving them. Okay. It's always so, so blurry. Okay, we are gonna refix this. There we go. Now, with this being said, it's no longer PS4. I'm just going to say, with my opinion, it mixed in with, like, everyone should know who are the strongest killers, when to get good with them, and who are the weakest that are, even though you know how to play them, still other people would disagree. So this is now going to that. Next is Michael, which... No, he's C, actually, in my eyes. He's still pretty strong. Even though it was, like, nerf, I guess they called it. I don't really know what it is, but it's, like... They gave him something that made people hate him so much, because he was an S tier originally. But now he moved down to, like, super low on the list, and I'm like, he didn't really get fixed, though. What made him so weak? For sure it's because of all the other killers that are on the list. So most people can agree that Michael is actually pretty weak, but he's actually pretty strong as well. Sure, you have to earn his power, and after a while, if you don't have infinite, then after all 4 survivors are red, you can no longer use your ability. That just means the game's been going on forever, and you should have just killed them when you had the chance. Next is Hag, which could be A tier, could be S tier, but she's definitely going to be high A if she's here, or she's going to be the lowest S. So for now, she'll be the high A. But Hag is arguably one of the strongest killers for being her height and her speed and her heartbeats. It's based off her ability, which is teleporting, which is really, really strong. Like, compared to most killers, who can't use their ability to camp really much. Hers actually you can camp. Like that's the thing with her ability is you can put down a trap and basically camp. Not physically camp, just like when you teleport, it's technically camping. So the community says, which is BS because it's like that's how her power works. You can't throw a fit, or unless you're throwing a fit to the developers, then don't complain. Next is Doctor, which I would put him here. He's really annoying to go against. Not really the strong type when it comes to looping. He can stop it where they throw down things or vault things, but sometimes it glitches and it's like the survivor still gets over it somehow, and you're just like, are you fucking kidding me? Or frickin', I mean, sorry, YouTube, like, they're pulling down most of my videos because of all these, like, curse words I keep saying. Even though it's like, okay, firstly, it's fine if you do it to the other videos, but Dead by Daylight, that game's not meant for kids in the first place, so why do I have to cut down on my swearing on that game? But, oh well. So, Doctor is really annoying for the most part. Ability-wise, like, it can be good for tracking, though, so he's decently strong when it comes to that. Next is Huntress. If you're good with shooting games, you'll automatically become good with her. If you're not good with shooting games, you'll be decent or bad with her. It's a toss-up between the two, but if you just never touched a shooting game ever in your life, then yeah, no, you're gonna be a bad Huntress. She can make some crazy shots from really far distances, which I would say she is definitely an A tier. Next is Bubba, which no, I'll put him there. He was strong for a while, but again, with all these like reworks and buffs and nerfs of all these killers and so on, Bubba's just lost touch. I might put him here, but it depends on who else is on that B list. I played Bubba, like, okay, so I will say this. Bubba and Michael were in, like, my top 4 best characters to play as when I was doing, like, my Dead by Daylight killer challenge thing. But I haven't finished it yet, and actually I have, but I finished it, and then like 5 new killers came out right after I finished it, so I was just like, yeah, this series is also kind of dead, so I don't know what's the point of doing this. Like, Dead by Daylight originally was one of my most popular games on my channel, but the main reason was because of the redeem codes, and after I stopped doing redeem code videos, the popularity just kept going down, 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 and I started playing more Genshin, and that's been getting me more views on my channel, so Genshin's now just like one of my main popular games. Same with Minecraft. Those two are my main games now that I play the most. Like, yeah. But with all this like YouTube stuff and so on, like based off like, oh, you can't really curse much in your videos anymore. Just a heads up, this channel might not exist in the future with how much I curse in most of my live streams and videos. So, with that being said, I'm in the works of making a new YouTube channel for a backup, and if I have to, I'll also switch to my Twitch of Hoodie_the_Gamer. I'll keep Hoodie_the_Gamer for my Twitch and all my other things like PlayStation name, my Roblox name, and all that stuff. But besides that, yeah, no. My main YouTube channel, if Hoodie_the_Gamer is no longer a thing, it's going to be something else. I'll try making it still Hoodie the Gamer, but it still wouldn't work because Hoodie_the_Gamer is the main thing. The fact that I would have to change it, it's like, yeah. And I have to rebuild my community again after 3 years of this. Like, now they want to make it where you cannot curse in videos at all. If you curse, you're screwed. It's basically what they're telling us, which is ridiculous. And they just added this like a few days ago, and I'm just so annoyed because some of these videos are like years old and they're already like, oh, we're banning that video because, you know, it had bad words in it, even though it's like that was like years, that was like a year ago, and yet you're now realizing that, which is ridiculous. So, yeah. I'm hoping I have my channel um like forever, but if they do wind up deleting it, then it's whatever, I guess. Like, that's YouTube for you, and that's why most people are switching to Twitch instead. And even though they have their own a YouTube thing for kids, still other kids are on YouTube, and they're just like, oh, this person's cursing, I don't like that. And it's like, then go to the freaking YouTube for kids if you're gonna complain. And so most of my videos, I will also give you a heads up, I will make most of my videos, you have to actually be 18 years or older to watch the video. If you are not 18 years or older to watch my video, then I'm sorry, you have to make either an illegal or illegal account to access it, or someone else's email that's actually 18 years or older, or you're just going to have to deal with not watching any of my videos in the future to live streams, basically. So just wanted to update you guys on that. But continuing with the tier list now, the whole reason why I'm doing this live stream, not to blabber about like me being like, might lose my channel, might have to switch. Okay, Bubba, Huntress, Next is Freddy, which Freddy kind of moved down the list as well, and actually it's pretty bad. Now that people are easily can counter him, it's not that hard. Just his swing is what makes him really OP, but minus that swing, yeah, I know he's not that strong, as most people think he is. So yeah, his dream palettes are really fun to play. His dream snares is what makes him strong, apparently, even though I'm like, no, I think it's the other way around. I think palettes are stronger. Those slowdown things don't really do much, unless you put on the hindered effect one or something like that. Next is the pig, which she is a C tier, not gonna lie, but hey, at least she's not in the D tier with two people that I used to like playing. I'm starting to like Amanda a lot more, the pig, but she's still pretty weak overall. Her crouch, she's much slower. Her dash, she can only go like a specific distance. So basically, she's just a normal like M1 R2 killer, which sucks. That's why I have Save This for Last on her, and Brutal Strength. So yeah. Next is Clown, which I don't know why people keep trying to move him up that list. Everyone should already know he's one of the worst killers to play in the game. Like, he's not scary at all, unless people already had color phobia, like afraid of clowns, then that's understandable. But if you're like me, I'm not afraid of clowns. And yeah, he is not scary. To me, at least. Not to people who have color phobia, then yeah, no, definitely be scared towards them. But besides that, yeah, no, he's not scary towards me. Like, was scared of clowns when I was younger, but as I got older, I'm just like, clowns are stupid. But yeah. Next is Spirit. Again, another killer that was arguably really stronger than Nurse. Like Hag, Spirit is actually up there on the list, but with her nerf, she's actually going to move down one when we get to a specific person, because the community believes he's also up on that list, same with another person, so on and so forth. But Spirit will probably be number 3 by the end of this list, so nothing to worry about, but love playing Spirit. She's now one of my mains. Like, she was the killer that when I started playing the game. When I first started playing, that's when Spirit got released. That was a long time ago. Like, I think it's almost been 5 years since Spirit's been out now. That's how long that I've been playing Dead by Daylight for. So next is Legion. Actually, Legion moved up that list quite a bit. That buff they gave him well deserved. Definitely deserve that buff. Where they, after hitting multiple survivors, they get faster and faster, and by the 5th time you can stab someone, boom, they instantly go down after you stab them. So that's actually really good. So, yeah, I would put him in B tier. Plague is another one that actually got well deserved. I don't know if it was rework or buff, but I don't know, she just got way better out of nowhere. So yeah, I have to put her in B tier because she can't really do much for looping as often unless she has the red vomit. But besides that, yeah, no, she's actually really good. Like, she can infect, so she's definitely a tracking killer, as well as a kind of an anti-looper, but depending on your vomits and how much you have time left with that vomit. And depending on the loop. Next is Ghostface, which I would have to put him here. Ghostface is actually really strong. Like, yeah, I prefer playing Michael over him, but again, this is also like who is stronger in this situation, and this community plus mainly my opinion on why I would put them there over what the community would usually say. But yeah, no, Ghostface deserves to be in B tier because he's actually way more stealthier than Michael because he's shorter and he can crouch to make him even shorter, making him look kind of like a survivor, minus that mask. So it's less visible for the survivors to be like, oh wait, that's one of our survivor friends, not realizing it's not. Next is Demogorgon, which he will never get a buff or rework ever again, so whatever he is what he's stuck with. And I'm going to have to... I think I'm going to give him the B tier. The lowest because I haven't really played Demo in a while. Although I do know he is really strong in situations when it comes to the gates or when it comes to generators. Camping a little bit, like those portals do a lot for him. Although it takes like 20 seconds and the survivors already break it, so if you don't get there in time, then you're screwed. Next is Oni, and I think he's an A tier because sure you have to earn his ability, but compared to Hillbilly and Leatherface, when he does his dash, he actually can instant down them like the others, but he also, when he bumps into objects, he can actually still run on those objects and not waste his power just like that, unless you let go of the power. So with that being said, I think he's an A tier, and changed my mind about that. Deathslinger. I want to say he's about here. He is a kind of an anti-looper in a way, but if you are in like near an object range, you can actually survive. But he's also not really a gen protector as much because, you know, depending on the gen as well, you can't really shoot them to get them off, and plus there could be multiple people on there, so you can only get one at a time. And that person you shot can only lose one health state at a time with that thing, just like Huntress, but he's weaker than Huntress in my opinion. So, yeah. Next is Pyramid Head, which I think he's also an A tier, because not only does he have an ability where if they, like, he puts stuff down on the ground and if survivors walk through it, the second you down those survivors, you can put them into a cage, so you can, anti, like, flashlight or anti-decisive strike or something like that, like, you're golden. And borrow time, like, any hook perks you counter instantly the second they get that. And then with that, you can also mori them after they're on death hook and they have that wire stuff around them, and that mori is like 2 seconds long, and you're done. And then another thing is he has a range attack as well that goes up to a specific meter, which can also be good for anti-looping if you're really good at aiming. That is. If you're not, then, well, best of luck. Besides that, I think he's an A tier. Okay, here's what the community thinks about Blight. Me personally, because I don't really play Blight as much, because Blight is just so damn hard compared to these two, where they can teleport. He has to bounce off of the objects to go super fast, and only can bounce off objects to get his ability to work. If a survivor gets in your way, or if there's no clear place to bounce off of things, then you're not going to be able to get that ability to work. So that's why he's super hard to play as. That's why people are saying he's second best right now. Which, again, I really don't agree, but it's community, I guess. And that's like majority votes. But some I do not agree with. Like, Clown, people need to stop with Clown. He's never going, like, there's no possibly any way to make that guy any stronger than what he is. People just need to stop with him. Compared to Blight, I can see why people are saying he's an S tier. With Clown, he should not, like, I've seen people put him in B and A tier, and I'm like, that pisses me off, because he does not deserve any of those places. He's a weak-ass little thing. Pretty sure I could say ass, but that's about it. I can't really say the F word or the B word. So yeah, I'm stuck with saying, like, crap, damn, hell, ass, maybe asshole, I don't really know. Next is the twins, which I do think they are pretty strong, but not too strong, so they're, like, in the middle, and they're moving down, like, yeah. I think they're in B tier only because they are pretty decently good campers when it comes to the end game and generators. But when it comes to Victor, you have to be cautious, because the second you see that web, you have to immediately switch to Victor, or else they're going to be able to kick him and you'll lose him. So, yeah. Next is Trickster. So, early games when going against noobs and kind of stuff like that, like decently good people to go against, he's really up here. But with going against pros, which is now constantly, like, there's no newbies at all anymore, yeah, I would have to give him the benefit of the doubt and have to give him C tier, sadly, even though I love my Trickster so much. He's just so weak. Like, I don't know what else to say. He's so weak. Yeah, those little knives can do some damage, but they're tiny hitboxes compared to the Huntress, Pyramid Head, and Deathslinger's, like, range attacks. But yeah, moving on. Nemesis. I actually do believe he is about here. Like, oh gosh, he is so strong because of those zombies, but minus those zombies, that whip is also pretty strong, so that's nice. If they didn't have the zombies, I think he'd be kind of lower on the list, but oh well. Artist. Yeah, I'm not going to explain much about Cenobite. Artist. Give her the benefit of the doubt. I actually would put her here. There's a lot of Bs. There's, like, more mid killers than anything. Because we rarely have any strong killers nowadays. Like, they're just weaker and weaker as they go on. Well, these two, I don't know much about, but I've heard a lot of bad things about them. They really don't do much. It's so hard to play Knight, and with her being new, it's kind of off a whim a little, from what I hear from people. And she's the reason why Dead by Daylight's now becoming not a horror game, so if that tells you anything. Wesker, yeah, he's still pretty strong. And then these two, ooh. But who was I on again? Artist. Reason why I put her there is because, depending on the map, she can be either good or bad. It's literally a 50-50. If it's a non-slanted map, then you should be all set to go with, like, protecting those gens and seeing, tracking people down if they're on those gens. She's also an anti-looper at some points. She shoots a bird at you, like 8 meters or closer to that head. You get injured instantly. I think it's 10 meters, but I can't remember. But But if you're too far away, then it'll just latch onto you, and then after you shoot another head at that person again, they'll just get injured, or go from healthy to injured, injured to dying, depending on the health state. Her swing is pretty small, though. That's what makes her really, like, weak. Is her, like, swing is just so little. Like, it barely can hit the survivors, which makes no sense. Yet, we have the Legion Ghostface over here hitting, like, survivors, like, with their little dagger things. She has a full-on hand, and she can't even reach that far. Next is Sadako, which I do believe she is still pretty strong. Like, even though, like, people are like, oh, she's D tier, she's at C tier. I think she's B tier. Pretty low in B, but still in B. She's mid, only because people call her the Gen Queen, because all her TVs are right next to a gen. So it's easier for you to get to one gen to the next. And it's sure the TVs are on cooldowns to teleport towards them again. But still, like, the fact that she can teleport at any point, just, yeah. And the fact she can get Bloodlust in her, like, invisibility phase, like, that's saying something as well. She's really strong, and yeah. That's where I would just put her. Next is the Dredge, which I think is S tier, in my opinion, and most people can agree, because he is pretty strong. He teleports to locker. And he also, if he wants to, he doesn't have to teleport to a locker. He can teleport back to his husk. To anti-loot people. I'm still trying to get used to that, but I keep accidentally pressing the wrong button, because that man uses like 50 buttons, I swear to God. But when you get used to him, he's actually really strong. And then he has another ability where it turns nighttime and you cannot see the heartbeat and you cannot see objects. Like, you can't hear the heartbeat, you can't see objects. All you can see are highlighted white silhouettes of people. Killer or survivor, it does not really matter. So yeah, that's where I would put the Dredge. Next is Wesker, which I think I would have to put him about here. Wesker, I think it's decently strong, like, because his hitbox is pretty decently big, but the fact that he can double dash at you at a really far range is saying a lot about what he can do. He can be on the other side of the map from you, but you can still see him, and he comes at you at a straight line. Boom, he's like right in your face already. Depending on his add-ons too, it's like, damn, but I'm not doing add-ons. I'm just basing it off their abilities in general. Next is the Knight, which I heard that he's decently good, but not that great. So I'm going to, for now, put him here. And then, from what I've heard with her, she doesn't make horror, and she's a tracking killer for sure, but that tracking probably won't get her far. So, yeah, this is my killer tier list for now. In the future, when they add more, I'll try, like, after they add like 3 more chapters, if that game even makes it that far. If they add 3 more chapters and I'm still playing the game fairly decent, then I will do another tier list to dedicate it to those like, and I will also definitely by that time with the 3rd chapter, 3 killers after the Skull Merchant. Definitely it'll probably be changed a lot based off of being like, oh, this person got stronger now, this person got weaker. My opinions didn't change for most of them, like, blah, blah, blah. For this, I don't think these are changing at any point, like, at all. It sounds like they lost the rights to Nightmare on Elm Street after the Quentin phase, like, they just lost it, so they don't really have much control over it anymore. Pinhead was never really that strong. Like, he's just broken in the wrong ways. And, yeah. But anyways, if you guys did enjoy this live stream of the Dead by Daylight Killer tier list, then please leave a like, please subscribe, hit that notification bell to get notified whenever I live upload a video. And I hope see you all in the future, and hopefully, my channel will be up for forever, and I hope I don't get any more warning or any more strikes or anything like that. Like, hopefully I don't lose this channel, because I really love this channel and I love my community. But if I do wind up losing it, then go to my community post or go to my About Me or links of most of my live streams or videos. They have my link to my Discord server. Go join that, and I will update you more on what will happen to my channel. And I will also update you if something does happen to my channel. I will update about what my new channel will be. And it's still going to be gaming, but I don't know if they'll have my gaming title anymore, like the Hoodie the Gamer thing. Might be a different name, so it doesn't, like, get people confused, being like, but I thought this was Hoodie the Gamer. Why is there a different Hoodie the Gamer and they sound the same? I might just change. I'm only going to be changing that profile. I'm not going to be changing my PlayStation, my Roblox, I might change my Discord name, but I am definitely, if I have to, I'll change my YouTube name to something else. So just giving you a heads up. So try to join the Discord server as soon as possible before the server, or before I lose my channel, if I lose my channel. Because if they are looking at my old videos and blocking them and giving me warnings and stuff, I have this feeling that I'm not going to keep this channel for much longer, because every video I did has at least a few or a lot of curse words in it, and they're looking back at my old ones, which are the ones I mainly curse the most in. And it's mainly the Dead by Daylight ones, of course, even though it's not meant for kids in the first place, but, you know, that doesn't matter. But yeah, so please go check out my Discord server, and before something happens to my channel, and you won't be able to access it in the future. But with that ranting out of the way, hope see you all in the future. Bye.